Thank you for joining the May 23rd, 2019 VOLTHA call. We do have an update today from Jason on the VAL 3.0 brigade progress, and then we'll do some catch up from Tuesday on Sprint 1 status updates, and that's our main focus for today. We do keep post these recordings to YouTube, so keep that in mind during the presentations and during discussions. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. Jason, are you ready for me to give you presentation rights?
Okay.
Okay, you should be able to present now.
Okay. Sure. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And let's update my effort in the VAL 3.0 in the OpenOT agent. So right now, and I changed some OpenOT source code and support for VAL 3.0, and because VAL 3.0 has changed a lot, some API structures, and especially some structures was removed by the VAL 3.0. So right now, so here, but I have changed some OpenOT function like activate ONU and deactivate the ONU, or the other is enable the POM interface, and very important is at the floor and schedule something, but it still had but it's not a very deep test with the VOLTHA 1.7. So I just use a unit test in the OOT inside. So I will show you a little demo later. So and you can see that how it's working with the new OpenOT program, and how to operate the OpenOT. And now status is the source code in the garage for review, for member review. And so now the source code status is now connected to the VOLTHA 1.7 already. So, and the next task, I need to connect to the VOLTHA 1.7 to test the connectivity using the gRPC protocol. Actually, of course, the OpenOT source code is compiled with the gRPC, so like a latest version. So you can see that here is the source code. I just show you how to compile. It is a very simple, like a last OpenOT agent. This command line, you can use the OpenOT devices, and it's a kind. Now we test the HCore OT right now, so I can really specify the ASF VOLT 16, so you can issue this command to make an OpenOT source code. So as we know, this is a C++ source code. So I just show you that this code is ongoing on Garrett for review, but because brigade member cannot build, some member cannot build the source code. So I just show how is build the source code as well. So okay, so you will see some library we need to copy to the device, to the OLT. So like some library, gRPC library, and this one is the Broadcom library in the GitHub. So we also build this library, common library. So the gRPC library and this is glibc library. Yeah. So and so you will see some different. I know there's some different with the latest OpenOT version. So there is you can see that this one is a program operator hardware, Broadcom hardware. So OpenOT program and connect to the daemon, and then to operate to send some behavior. So to operate the Maple chip or Qumran chip. Okay, so I will show you the version is the BAL 3.0. So we are using the 3.0.3.3 the BAL version, and the SDK, the Qumran SDK is 6.5.13. Yeah. So this is the page file version. So yeah, we specify this version. So and this version we also upgrade on Arrow kernel, and we support a kernel the 4.14.109. This we are using the kernel version. So there's all the components, software component we have, and the build is very simple, like this one. Is very simple. Latest version is very complicated for build procedure. So now we provide only one single command. You can generate the binary, you can compile the SQL and generate the driver and CLI command. So it's yeah. This open source option is for the library. The library BAL host the API .so. So you need to use this option to generate the Broadcom API library. Okay, and this one is generate you can use the single CLI and switch to the Qumran the CLI command. If you don't specify this option, you cannot switch to the Qumran CLI. So in the same the prong CLI, the prime command line. So we decided to use this command to easy to operate Qumran CLI. Okay, so this response you can generate the tab file. So the tab file, if you build already, you can generate a tab file. You can copy this tab file to the OLT and to set up, to install the library, to install the driver library and another applications. Okay. So I think there is we have the we have a component and to build open OT agent. And now I will show you some demo and how to operate OpenOT in the edge quality. So now right now you can screen the in the OT. So you can see the driver is already loaded in the kernel space. So you just use you can use this command. You need this command to load all the necessary drivers in the system. So there's we have the libraries, and right now there's we have the files in. If already install the OT, so you can see those files in the system. So let's quickly issue a command. The first command, we need to specify a library path and to the Broadcom folder. So this is the first command, and we quick launch the daemon and the PCIe, and this D is the showing the foreground. So if you want to see some message in the console, you can use the list D -D option. So if you want to run in the background, you don't need the this option D. So this time we want to see some message in the console. So we use this command, and here we go. So it's different from the last version. If you use when you use the list daemon, and this daemon will to bring up the Qumran chip, and so last version, when you use this program, they don't do anything. It just listen the client connect to this program. So we need to wait, and right now we need to wait the Qumran like a DDR tuning or like prepare some sequence to check the chip is already. So yeah, this sequence is different from last version. And the other thing is this screen, and when the OpenOT is already in the list of the Broadcom folder. So I also, you can use the library path and use this command already. Last OpenOT program, you need to specify the IP address and the port number. So now, because it's in the local, so it can default port number is 50200. So it's a default port. So there's it because it's localhost connection. So it just use a simple command without any upgrade option. You can connect to a daemon. So okay. So you can see the status, the enable Maple chip, and we have the add Maple chip. So you can the daemon and get the message, get the task, download the Maple firmware, and to bring up the NNI port, the status, the pump port status. So this is already on the operator in the COI, and right now we will see that it's A7, but now I don't know why the Broadcom cannot enable NNI interface. I just only enable NNI interface 0. The other interface I cannot enable. So I need to check out this. -11 is operation not support. So I need to figure out what's going on. Is operation not support to enable the NNI 1, 2, 3. So only 0 can enable successfully. So I don't know how I need
Jason,
to check
is this Jason, in the 2.6, is that also the same? Only the NNI 0 can be enabled?
I'm not sure. I can check and check at least the point. I'm not sure, but right now I just only see the NNI 0 cannot enable. So yeah, that's a good point. I can check out the 2.6. I think.
Or just open a CSP, right?
Yeah. So maybe Yichin can reply the list problem. So I don't know.
Okay.
So the pump status is already, so this already enabled. Is mean the first one, the first one I enable already. So this is the same sequence. So if when you the enable again, they will show it already enabled. So this warning message. So and the other things that we need to discuss with the CLI option. So now I only put the API folder in the alternative command. So and we can discard some feature we can add in the program command line, like a debug command or some command we can add this CLI. So I just add API you can easily get some status like and divide is the upright API get and the object is device, or you can the device like a Maple 0. Okay, Maple 0. So you will see the status. It's a chip system more. You can see the chip family, some detailed information, and maybe you can maybe 7. So if you download a Maple firmware already, you can get a status in the command line. So that means it's already done for initial validation for Maple chip. Yes. Okay. So and the other daemon is you also provide the COI. I just say the Kumoran COI option, the list switch SW utility share. If you specify the list option, you can see the list path, the switch share. The switch share, you can see the list, the path. If you don't specify the list, the utility share, you cannot use this path. This path is switched to the Kumoran COI. This is Kumoran COI. So you can see the interface. You can see the interface in the Kumoran. So the status, you can see the system, the system port, the status, and the Kumoran, the uplink, the status. So, and if you down the firmware upload to the maple, this status will be up. If you fail to download to the firmware to the maple, this status is down. So you can easy to recognize this AV maple status in the command CLI. Okay.
The NNI port 128 through 131, we know the 129, 2030, 131 are not the error, but 128 should be up, right?
128, but right now I don't plug the transceiver in the 128. So when you plug the transceiver, you will see the up. So it's just showing the connectivity and the physical, the physical link with the transceiver.
Okay.
So you can easy to check the status, the link status.
Okay.
Okay. And sorry. I have created two story, and we have the story in 1591, and there are very story in the list epic. So the 1635, I write some very simple, the simple test. The simple test you can see to do the simple test in your ORT. So and the one thing is I just not showing the connectivity port 19191. So it's already when you launch the operating agent. So this the connection port it will be in the background for listening and waiting for VOLTHA to connect. So right now this is ORT activation status in the list story.
And on the top of the screen, the GitHub address that I provided, that's where the code is, right?
Yeah. This.
On the Epic, I think I listed the link of the GitHub.
So in the list, Garrett. in the case of for member review the source code. Yeah. So it's now it's not finished the source code because we have many issues to be done, and like ONU discovery, and I think those story is based on the VOLTHA 1.7 function. So there's we first task to compatible with the 1.7. Yeah. And I think very special I want to point out is this the story, because this story in the 3.0 in the TPID and outer TPID was removed by the Broadcom SDK 3.0. So and I saw the 2.6. So we are already used the TPID, the setting in the classifier. So we need to find out how to fix this problem without the TPID, how to use the technical profile from the VOLTHA 1.7 to can add the flow, create the flow and create a flow in the OpenOT edge. Yeah. So and the other things is the schedule parameter also change, and 2.6 use the traffic schedule use the schedule with the some parameter, but the 2.6 you cannot find this parameter. So we need to figure out how to use the exist parameter and to create the schedule in the agent. So I think some bandwidth the parameter and the traffic limit and traffic limiter shaping. So it can also in the 3.0, but the code is changed, so we need to figure out how to implement the into the function.
Okay.
Okay, so another story like a pick out the traffic flow, the pick out the VLAN, one-to-one VLAN based. Maybe you can, and this is the function, the standard function in the 1.7. So I think all the issue to be done if a source code is already okay. So any question for you guys?
Are there any questions from the community? I guess, Jason, thanks for, list all these things needs to be done, right? So definitely the technology profile, I will call it incompatibility from the 2.6 to 3.0. I think that's a biggie. So some of the code probably need to be changing or something like that. But Jason, right now you list all these user stories, so potentially the brigade member will be working on these story. I think I'm hoping that if other people within the community has some special, once you get your device upgraded, if you can participate that to tackle some of the user stories, that would be great also.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a very active brigade. I think there are a few technical leads involved on that one, but I think it's a very good progress.
Yeah. So I think, and I think the next step we need to connect to the VOLTHA 1.7. So after this connectivity is already, maybe we can merge to the branch, the VLs, the VL13, the DB. So maybe, yeah. So anyone you can download the source code to build and run in a OLT.
Okay.
Any questions?
A lot of information.
Yeah, another story to be faced. Okay. Okay.
And I think the user story under this epic probably will grow too, right? Because I think potentially there are more things we need to address. But you basically capture most of them. OLT, ONU, alarm, function port, track flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So potentially, so you said the 15 or 16. I cannot. 1672 or is that 15 or 16? I cannot read the second digit.
16.
1672. So that one, and then the 73. I think those are the technology profile, and then the QoS SLA related stuff that need to be right.
Yeah, I think the very relative technology for fire is 1673. So because the schedule and you can see the new technology profile can apply the parameter, but some parameter has changed. So we need to think about how to fix the taken for fire to create some schedule for both the direction, the upstream, the downstream, the traffic limitation for a specific ONU. So this is a very important story in there. So yeah.
So where is is that OpenOLT adapter need to do something, or the fundamental technology profile portion of the code need to be changed?
Yeah. So it is it's a need to respond for the new technical file in the VOLTHA 1.7. So I just right now the version I just use the currently Broadcom API to create some hardcode the value. So maybe it can be changed if we have make a decision and in the technical profile. So how is we go and to for the research schedule how to implement the research schedule with the 1.7. There's a need to address area.
Okay. I think that's maybe that's something we can talk about during the brigade, and then potentially would. I think in the brigade, Redis and then the Netsia Agela, they all participate that, so they should aware about this issue also. Okay, Julie, I think if no one else has any questions, then we can move on.
Okay, thanks, Jason. I'll go ahead and take presentation rights back.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, the last question. So Jason, you do have some kind of documentation regarding to how do people to install it, right?
Yeah, this installer is a quick guide. So you can find the quick guide in the CSP. So you can follow the quick guide to step by step to install the on-air, the Broadcom driver, how to use the daemon, how to operate the Broadcom reference program.
Right.
So
the community still need to get the code about SDK and about from the Broadcom directly through their CSP channel.
Yeah, of course. If we want to build the source code, so
okay.
So I don't know why the Broadcom does not put this version in the CSP. So in the brigade member, the individual to issue the request to the Broadcom. So I don't know. So maybe you want to build a source code, you need content to the Broadcom.
Yep.
Directly.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, any other questions for Jason before we move on? Okay, Jason, thanks again for that update and demo today, much appreciated. Then want to do a little bit of catch up next that we didn't get to on Tuesday to get some one status updates. So we haven't had time for that on the last several calls, so give that an attempt today to do a little cleanup. And I'm going to start, I think, about midway down the in progress, just because there was a batch here together that I wanted to make sure I got a handle on the status for those. The first one, I don't think I saw Girish on the bridge, so we'll see. Amit, I'm not sure if this is one you'll be able to answer or not. So VOLTHA 1579, this one, it does have a Garrett review out there, but it's been sitting there for a couple of weeks. I wanted to see, I don't know if this is on hold waiting for something else, or if this just needs some attention to get it merged in. Is there anyone on the bridge who's familiar with this, or do we need to wait and get a response from Girish? Okay, I'm not hearing anyone speak up, so I think we'll need to go back and talk to him directly. Then I think this one, I think, is being worked by William. I don't think we have William on. I think we have a couple, or at least one other item that will get underway once this is merged in, or once this
William's
is
here.
done. It's not a, oh, William is here. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not having set up my screen to see it right now. What task is it?
1604, MIB external storage cannot write to storage. So that one I think is in progress right now.
Yeah, it's in progress right now. I'm working on it.
Okay.
It'll be a bit longer as I've got some issues to fix,
okay.
to work out.
All right. Then next, I wanted to check on 1605. So this one, it looked like it was merged in. So I'm not sure if this one is complete. So this was add port status change to the core proxy and request handler. So Ken, I think this one was one of yours.
I believe this is already merged.
Yes, it is merged. So should I move it over to Dunn?
Yes, please.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And then I wanted to go, let me scroll back down, find my place again. I had a question on 1611 and 1616 as well. It looks like there was some combined work on those in Garrett. And those were both merged. It looks like these are merged as well. So I wanted to check if there's anything else we need for that. So 1611 in-memory data values may get occasionally reverted by watch event. So we have
Yeah,
this
that's yeah, that's
okay,
completed.
move it to done. All
Yeah.
right, we'll do. And then same for 1616 then. Let me reposition
Yeah,
the screen
yeah,
again.
that's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
let me move that over to done. And then 1580 and 1581, I think these were ones that, I think these are for Girish as well. So we may not be able to answer these. I'll see if anyone else who's been doing reviews on these knows the current status. So 1580 was to support reporting ONU registration ID and OpenOLT driver. This one has a +2 in Garrett, but I'm not sure. So it's been stagnant for a couple of weeks, so I'm not sure if there's something we're waiting on for this, or if it just needs something to get it through and get it merged. Is anyone else on the bridge familiar with this item? If not, I may need to go back and check in with Girish.
Hi, Julie, this is Amit. So I'll ask Girish to look into those JIRAs and
Okay.
move them if they are
Thank
already
you.
there. Yeah.
Okay, since it had the +2, I thought probably it was just needing to get merged in, but not 100% sure. And 1581 is similar. It doesn't have the +2, but it did have the reviews, and it's been a couple weeks for that as well. So hopefully that's just a little bit of cleanup that needs to be done, but not sure. So Amit, thanks for your help with that. And then Bjorn, I don't know if maybe you can answer this question or not, or Amit. So these two that were related to the ONU registration ID, I had a question if those were related to or replacing at this point Vol 1021, which was reporting of ONU registration IDs from VOLTHA. So are these related, or is this a replacement path for that original ticket? I wasn't quite sure.
So can you just scroll up and go to 1022? Not on my PC, so
This is 1022. I'll bring it up on the larger view here.
Yeah, so I think 1022 was for reporting the registration ID using a different mechanism. So
Yeah.
prefer using OpenFlow, but the ones that we were talking about right now, they are using the same old concept of reporting it through the Kafka bus over the alarms topic. So I wouldn't say that they're related.
Okay.
But I think it's a different approach for the same functionality,
Yeah.
right? So Julie, I think this 1022 has been sitting there for a while now. I think if the new ones has achieved the function, and then the Bjorn the new approach has been satisfied Bjorn's requirements, then we'll maybe Bjorn we can close this one. Just let the two new ones take over.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's close the 1022.
Okay. I'll close it.
Okay, great. Thanks. It looked like it was a duplication, just a different process, so I wasn't sure we needed to keep everything open. So thanks for that clarification. And then let me scroll back down. 1645, I had another question. Ken, I think this one was for you as well. Creation of device agents for deleted device incorrect. I wasn't sure if there was additional work on this one also. 1645 has been merged as well.
Yeah, that's completed.
Okay, let me move that one over. Okay, so those were the main ones I wanted to make sure I had some time to do quick cleanup on the call today in case there was anything that we needed to follow up on with the group. I'll scroll back up to the top, I think, because I think we just talked about the new issues on the BBSIM test cases that were added. Those we just talked about recently. So Gilles, unless you have anything you need to discuss with the group, I'll probably move up. Anything you need today for 1665 and
not really. Yeah, 1665. That's ready to be merged. I just I've asked Kailash to do that. It's got the reviews and all that. And I'll start to work on 1666.
Okay, thank you. And let me scroll back. So, Sean, it looks like you already updated the status for the one. Thank you for that. Okay, and we have a number, I think, that are, so 1385 is, I believe, part of some of the brigade work going on, and I don't see anything up in Garrett yet, so I don't think we probably need to talk about that on this call. 1090, this one, do we have Chip on the bridge today? I don't see Chip. Okay, so 1090, I wasn't quite sure next steps on this one because it looks like there was some related work that needed to get merged in and some other stuff. So I think we'll probably just need to follow up with Chip offline on that. So Ken 1456 is, I think, one you're working on here. And I asked David a question about one of his new bugs that he'd opened that we talked about on Tuesday that was related to failure to delete device. So I think that one will go up for retest once this work is complete, and then we'll see if that fixes the other as well. So they may be related, but we'll wait and confirm after we have some retesting once 1456 is done. Anything we need to talk about with that one today?
So they are not the same thing?
Not confirmed yet. So David wanted to retest after this fix is merged in to see if his issue goes away. So it could be, but not confirmed. David, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Nope, that sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. Then Ken, I think you're the one I usually check on these. I had a question on the end-to-end integration testing in Kubernetes environment and the HA testing. These are still in progress, is that correct?
They're kind of in progress and at the same time on hold a little bit because we are testing and fixing bugs at the same time. So it's kind of they're moving, but it's just bugs in the way. Put it this way.
Okay, and I have a question also. Is Richard the correct assignee for these?
For this one, no. Actually, it should be. I think it's Stefan that will take over from that one. So you can assign it to Stefan.
And then for the HA testing,
that one also. Well, that anyway, like it's a bunch of us that is doing it at the same time. So you can put my name or Stefan's name, doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll put you.
Okay.
One for Stefan, one for you. I know you guys are all working on that. Just wanted to make sure I had a person to go to if we ended up needing questions outside of meetings. Okay, and then similarly on 1410, this was the integration testing between OF agent, Affinity Router, and the core.
That test was done, but I think we'll need to keep that one there because there's some changes that has been done, so we'll have to do some retesting there. Okay,
and the assignee for that one, who should I have as the main name?
This one, maybe you can assign it to Kent.
Okay, thank you.
You evenly distributed. That will be David.
Delegation, that's
okay.
fun.
And then I think on this one, I think I saw Matt on the bridge earlier. 1488, Open OLT Preserve and Verify Indications Handling. So we had a few that were waiting to be confirmed once there was hardware available. I know, Matt, I think you'd been working on getting some access to hardware for those issues, but we also had the comment here that any further failed verification would likely just generate a new bug. So I wasn't sure if we were supposed to continue to leave this item open.
Yeah, so that's a good question. This one and the next two, I would almost say it's better to just, whatever discovery is done and then bugs opened because of it for more specific issues. The lifecycle one's the next two as well. Really, it's just a matter of verifying what hopefully should already be there, and then if it's not, open a bug.
Okay.
But regarding that one specifically, Aaron now has access to test hardware that passes traffic, so he should be able to more fully test some of the statistics stuff.
Great. So then once he finishes the last of those tests, regardless of pass or fail, we should be able to close this issue. If there are failures, and those would be new stories, and then at least this one will be closed out. Okay, and then
same
for
with
14. Okay.
Yeah.
So
same thing with these two as well. Where if in the course of testing, and there's some we already know about, like disable, re-enable. There's some issue there, and it likely just needs to be put in as a bug.
Okay.
And then whatever else that's discovered regarding you know, unplugging and replugging back in an ONU or power cycling an ONU. Anything like that, it may just be easier and more productive to have them specifically called out as a bug. I
think so. Okay, that sounds good. All right, then let me move down a little bit further. 1555, I wasn't sure on. I think this one was under some active discussion. I could be wrong. In Garrett, yes. So this has been under discussion up through last week, but it does have a +1. Matt, I think you gave this one. So I'm not sure if this one is waiting for further review. This is ONU reason code as OMCI flows deleted state after ONU disable enable sequence.
I don't remember that one.
So this one, it looks like it had some review last week, but no activity. The last thing on here was, Matt, your +1. So I don't know
honestly, I've been hesitant to aggressively merge things in on the 1.x branch just because I've stepped away from it.
1.x.
So I'm kind of like, you know, on the surface things look fine, but I'd really rather somebody who's really more into it kind of give it the final go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let me see. And then this one is, I think, this has not been updated for a bit. Let me just double check on Garrett here. We have a couple that are open. I don't know if this is, I forgot the status, May 19th. So last week, I think this had some +1s and maybe the same situation. Let me look at what the ticket is again. Open. This is on the Golang adapter. Okay.
No, this is 1.x.
Yeah. Okay.
So same deal, right? As folks have kind of started splitting up, it's kind of hard to really know what's exactly going on.
So I think I'll leave that one alone, and it's would be, I think, under the Golang work that's being handled mostly with the brigade as well. And we'd already talked about this. I think that takes us through the main ones we needed to look at for the in progress. Zach, I did want to circle back with you again, and the rest of the group also, related to the documentation, because I know we have received some requests over VOLTHA Discuss for 2.0 documentation now that it's tagged. Do we have an estimate from the group here on when we think we'll have a reasonable path forward for the documentation? Is there a timeline that we're working towards? I'm not quite sure how to respond to folks on VOLTHA Discuss yet, other than just it's in the works.
So some of the requests on VOLTHA Discuss were for release notes and other stuff that I don't think actually exist, or if they do, I don't know where they are. So that somebody would need to write those who knows more about the project. As for the mechanical portion of it, which is what I'm working on, I'm still working on that. I haven't had much of a chance because I got pulled into some other things this week.
Okay.
I hopefully will have something or have a little bit more knowledge, but it looks at this point like we're going to have to make trade-offs, and we have to figure out the lowest or the common denominator that people are willing to accept for those.
Okay.
So,
and then it sounds like, if I understood you correctly, that we need to supplement what you're doing with additional documentation for completing out the release notes.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what the process everyone wants to use for doing those.
Zach is providing the piece of paper. Somebody else has to write stuff down.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I was in the process of creating a release note, but Julie told me we had to change something, so I was on hold.
So, no matter what format you use, there's a lot of good tools out there that can convert. So if we decide we want to,
previously we used Google Docs, right, for the release note.
Yeah, and we can pull those into other formats. There's some pretty good conversion tools that can bring those over fairly seamlessly.
Okay, I'll continue work on that.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Okay, then I think probably that's it for the in progress items. And I don't think I saw Shad on the bridge, and I don't think we had any more joins, so I don't think Chip is on either. So I will move past those. 1445. So there's some in the to-do column that we've carried over for a few sprints. So I want to make sure that we still, we can just let them carry over to the next one if needed. But I'm not sure if some things we need to just do a cleanup. We may not want to take the time on that today. Then, okay, and we have a couple that are still open or in the to-do column for the Python containerization issues. So Matt, are those going to be, those are verification ones?
Same thing, yeah. The logging one, I probably could just go away. That one, I mean, the logging has been verified, so it's really just a matter of saying, yeah, it's there. Alarm and statistics, same kind of thing. It's kind of sort of to do with some of the stats indications, but more kind of holistic. Same kind of thing. If it's not there, it just needs a bug.
Okay.
So it may just be a matter of, jotting it down and then closing it and creating a bug.
Yeah. So on 1491, the logging, you said that one we likely can just move to done because you've verified the logging in there?
Yeah, that's fine. The logging is clean on everything, and it's usable, parsable, greffable. So at this point, it's really just, check the checkbox that it's finished.
Okay. Let me go ahead and move that one over then. And then 1491, then we probably wait till the testing is complete, and then if any defects, if any failures happen, we'll open defects, but once testing is complete, we can move 1492 to done as well, it sounds like. Is that one in progress?
Well, so it depends. So some of that has to do with the alarm and events conversation that's going on in general. True. So, I mean, it could just kind of get balled up into that. There's obviously a number of ways to do it, old way, new way. So, yeah, it may just be more of a matter of which way do we want to do it in the 2.1, branch.
Okay. Then let me leave that where it is for now. Thanks, Matt. Okay, and then...
again, right?
Yes,
so is
go ahead.
Python branch specific or?
Not really. I mean, the story happens to be under the Python epic, but it covers however adapters produce their events. It could be rolled up under the Golang epic. It could be independent of any epic, really. It could just be its own standalone story. But it's related to the eventing versus alarming conversation we've had recently.
Okay.
Okay. Then on the 1370, I had a question on this one. Right now it is showing as a medium priority, but I haven't heard anything lately on what we need. So I think it probably is still work to be done. So health command doesn't work on VOLTHA 2.0 core. Is that still the case?
I believe that's still the case. It's just a question of getting there.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we don't have anything else that needs to be cleaned up here. So, all right, then let's see. Packet duplication seen in the upstream direction from PON to NNI, and this one I think is still work to be done, not picked up at this point, but I think we can move on from that. And then 1565, this is related to porting over the changes. So I think the epic as a whole is in progress. And, but I think we've been tracking it really with the, well, let me.
Hey, Julie, back to the 1559, right? That's the potential is BAL 2.6. Oh, so that will affecting the 2.1 also. Okay, it's a BAL issue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me go back to the larger view here. Yeah, I'm wrong on this. I was thinking that this was broken into two different stories at this point, but it is in here as just a large epic. So I think it probably is in progress, but I'm not 100% sure here on how to treat this one. And let me see if we've got Jonathan on the call. I don't believe we do. So Amit, do you know how I should treat this one? Does this stay in the to-do, or is this one that should be moved over into in progress? Do you know, or do I need to check with Manjunath?
No, Julie, so whatever Manjunath wanted to address through this JIRA, right? Mm-hmm. So I have created separate epic user stories under the other. Yeah, so I think we can get rid of this one. Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were tracking them as individual stories. That's why I was a little confused. So I can close out 1565 with a reference to
the epic or Golang OpenOD.
1373. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so that will clean that one up. And then we had some release engineering items in the to-do that will get picked up as available. And then on I think we had the extended OMCI message formats and operations proposal design spike was in the queue for this as well. I think that was one of the items that was mapped over to 2.1 as part of the lockdown, if I remember correctly. So I'm not sure if this is the right, and Matt, I think you're the technical lead, if I remember right, for the OMCI.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at any of it at all.
Okay.
It may be maybe a couple of sprints before I can really kind of start getting my hands around.
That was really the question I was trying to get to, is I think 2.1 is the right place for it, but I'm not sure that this is the right sprint for it. So it sounds
it may be later.
Probably agree with that. Okay. So I think this one, should I move it to the backlog?
Yeah, let's do that until I'm ready to start, looking at it. There's really no point in dragging it around for no reason.
So let me say, consider for the 2.1 sprint 2 or 3, and then we can update
just
at that point.
To be clear,
Yes?
this would only apply to the 2.x adapters in PyVolta. I personally am not going to spend any more time on 1.x. So, you know, there are, I'm sure, others who are trying to work two different sides, but from a resource and effort point of view, this is a 2.x effort.
Right, that is my understanding as well. Any questions from the group? Okay, so let me move this one to the backlog, and then actually I'll make sure I do have it. I'll make sure I do have it flagged with 2.1, and we do. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have that in the backlog, and we'll look at it for timing of bringing in that work as part of that larger planning. And actually, Matt, that maybe takes me back over to, I think it's going to be related to the planning discussions here, because we hadn't targeted yet when we thought the OpenOMCI work would start. And so as we start to hopefully get this filled in a little more on the work side, we'll get a better view for when the different pieces will come into play for the development work. Okay,
sure,
I think that takes us through at least a high level of what we've got in the updates for Sprint 1. So thanks everyone for taking some time to do this, since I don't think it had a chance since we kicked off Sprint 1. So I wanted to make sure we did a quick sync up on where we are. Are there other items that the group needs to discuss today?
And the Spring 1 ends next week, right?
Sprint 1 ends next Friday, yes.
Okay.
So actually that takes me to, I'm going to bring up another topic that's been on my mind for a number of sprints. So we often, you know, initially plan to do sprint planning for the upcoming sprint on the last VOLTHA call, so the Thursday of the last VOLTHA call during the current sprint, so that we have some preliminary planning done before. But we usually have not had time on those Thursday calls to get to the actual sprint planning. So I wanted to see if there's what the thoughts would be for the group if we end up in that situation again. If I scheduled a standalone meeting for sprint planning, would that be something that may work for the group, or do we need to just try and reprioritize the discussions on the Thursdays to make sure we have time to do the sprint planning? I kind of see those as two options. We've had a lot of discussions that really need to take place with the group, which is why we did take those time on the Thursday calls, but it has kind of robbed some of the coordination of what we need to be doing on the sprint planning side. Would a separate meeting be a possibility for folks? So that would be potentially every 3 weeks, scheduling a standalone meeting for that.
And Julie, I think, Julie,
yes.
Let me jam a comment here. Is I think we have the OpenOMCI brigade for mostly like 2 or 3 months, right? So potentially you're running out of time because we took away that 30 minutes. I think let's play it.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that. So I have more time now. So that may just naturally work back in for us. Good point.
It may be worth, for the purpose of planning, the only bullet you put on the upcoming meeting is sprint planning, and then that's just all we're going to talk about. Don't even offer up any opportunities to do anything else.
Okay, so I will hold firm and not allow folks to add in then. So let's try and do that, see if we can get that to work. And then if we have an urgent technical discussion, then we may need to put that on a standalone. But hopefully with the additional 30 minutes back on Thursdays, which I'd forgotten about, so thank you, Sean, maybe we'll be able to get this back on track. Okay, I think that's it for me then today. Any other items the group would like to talk about?
Just one question, Zach. do we have additional things we need to do on that FCAPS documentation and then effort for harmonization of the event mechanism?
So what I think we're waiting on right now is deciding on some of the header and event scenario work that or schema work that David had started. I know people have looked at that, but I don't think that's risen to the point of being. I'm not sure where that stands in the priority queue.
Right. So maybe next Tuesday, let's review that. I mean, what I'm saying is, I even need to find Word documents. I think I have a bookmarked it already. Let's talk offline, see whether we need to do something to bring up to the community attention again. Because I'm afraid it's going to just sitting there without progress, right? So we need to conclude that.
Yeah, I agree that we need to figure out what the momentum needs to be on that. From my perspective, it would touch a lot of things and require a lot of changes. So doing it especially when 2.0 was about to come out, seemed like not quite the right time to implement a lot of those wider ranging changes. Also, per the VOLTHA release planning documents, that was set as I think a 2.1 feature set, or part of the 2.1 feature set. So
and I want to remind people, right? Even we have ONS and VOLTHA FCAS brigade going on, but the brigade did not address those design issues. So I think the larger community or the core member of putting that document together, I think we need to push forward. I think it's a separate effort than the brigade. So Zach, let's see whether we can get that thing up and running again. I mean, going.
Okay, that sounds good. And just try to scope and set a timeline. Sounds good.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Then I think the last thing I'll point out is, just because we haven't gone over it for a while, that in the backlog we do have, they're not ordered in terms of within priority groups. This one I just moved back down here, so I've got to move it around again. But we do have the backlog partially organized to have most of the items for defects that we believe targeted for 2.1 are up at the top of the backlog in descending order of priority. But again, no, we haven't done prioritization within the same priority level, like all the minors, we just moved them all up together, and then going into the features after that with the highest priority and then decreasing from there on. So if you have a chance to take a look at the backlog to see if there's anything you think is miscategorized, then let me know and we can address that. But we'll probably try and cover that during some of the sprint planning that we've got hopefully coming up in a week. Okay, I just wanted to point that out because we don't go back to the backlog view much on the usual Tuesday, Thursday calls. Okay, anything else before we drop the call today? All right, I will go ahead and stop the recording.